This is Changeable Guardian Estique, or Estique if you're Spanish, I guess. I don't know which way you're supposed to pronounce it. We can find out maybe when we go into the game, because it includes the Japanese version. There is a Japanese version and an English version of this game. This was originally released as a physical NES cartridge or Famicom cartridge in 2024. And there were differences between the two versions, and I think the Wikipedia page seems to suggest that there was, like, some degree of, like, criticism or disappointment because of the differences in the English version. Like, there's a completely different intro. The great news is this Steam release includes both. So that in itself is hype. The game looks pretty damn sweet, which is hype. White background warning. I'm gonna switch to Wikipedia because I have the tab open. It also seems to have a pretty heavy-hitting, like, staff involved. Changeable Guardian Estique was directed by Takayuki Komabayashi, who previously worked at M2, kinda known for a lot of good shmup ports, as part of the Sega Genesis Mini and Game Gear Micro teams, before going independent and establishing Katbui Trading, which is what you see this listed under as the developer. Former Compile staffers participated in the game's production, while the soundtrack was composed by Ayaka Saso, Sakuo Kikudo, Shinichi Sakamoto, and Shinji Hosoe. And if you hover over Shinji Hosoe, it clarifies there is a dedicated article for him. Also known as Megaten and Sampling Masters Mega, is a Japanese video game composer and musician most famous for scoring Ridge Racer, Street Fighter EX, and many Namco arcade games between 1987 and 1996. So yeah, you've got M2, you've got Compile staffers, which, you know, if you know anything by Compile, we're talking like Blazing Lasers, the Guardian Legend, the Alesta series. So there's some freaking big-ass names involved in this, so this is pretty hype. And also, it seems to have gotten a lot of acclaim for being very well optimized. It's like back in the day, in the 80s and whatnot, when the NES first came out, you would play a lot of titles that would try to push the hardware to its limits, but you would get a lot of, like, flickering due to sprite limits and stuff. There is almost no flickering in this game. You might start... I was reading an article that said you might start to see flickering in this game if you pick, like, the hardest difficulty setting. And yeah, like, I don't play a lot of, like, original NES stuff. I have more nostalgia for the Super NES and to an extent the N64. I was terrible at NES games because I was really too young to actually be good at them, and plus NES games are fucking impossible on average, so... you know, like, my classic story is I only ever beat Ninja Gaiden 2 by learning how to speedrun it. So, we'll see how this goes. Given that I am generally not good at NES games, but this is a modern NES game, so, you know, might have some modern sensibilities along with it. I've also heard that there are 3 difficulty levels. The lowest difficulty level is called normal, but supposedly normal is actually pretty easy. So it's like normal in Blue Revolver, which is the easy difficulty in Blue Revolver. I think it is anyway, isn't it? I'm not imagining that, right? It was normal and then hyper and then parallel, I think? Yeah. Alright, so let's read about it. A spectacular, satisfying, and super watchable. I like that term. I know, I'm like 5 words into the description and I'm segueing already. I like that term, though, because sometimes you will hear me talk about how, like, it's one thing to play a game, but it's another thing to consider how it's going to be, how parsable it's going to be to stream viewers. And my classic example of this is, like, Glory Kills in Doom 2016. Because you, as the player, know exactly when and what you are telling the game to do. So you expect the Glory Kill to snap in on an enemy, and that's satisfying. But when a viewer is watching it, they're just getting whiplash all over the freaking place. And the same goes for, like, games that have, like, screen flashes in response to, like, direct player actions or to picking stuff up. So, like, depending on how much or little attention you're paying to a game, you may not be expecting the screen flashes, and that can be, like, hard to watch, you know, if you're trying to just wind down at night or something. So, I'm curious, I'm dialing in on the super watchable phrase there. And, like, even just from the perspective of, I tend to be very quickly critical of any game that has, like, excess screen flashing and, or bloom or chromatic aberration or what have you. Or unnecessary quote-unquote retro CRT effects, that kind of thing. So, like, the fact that they include that right up front in the description here immediately has my attention. It's like they wrote this description specifically for me by using the words, including the words super-watchable in there. A spectacular, satisfying, and super-watchable defense battle. The ultimate 8-bit shoot-'em-ups born in the 21st century. Changeable Guardian Estique is now on Steam. I really hope I'm not mispronouncing it, but like I said, I'll find out the hard way when we see the Japanese spelling. Let's scroll down. So the planned release date is 2026. Again, reminder, this is a 2024 NES/Famicom game. So, like, the game exists. This is mostly, like, putting a UI and wrapper around an emulator, I would assume. Reviews. Shmups don't get much better than this on NES. From Time Extension. Wait, is that really supposed to have a T in it? No, it's not. They misspelled the reviewers... They misspelled the reviewing website's name. Not a great show. About this game, the 8-bit shmup Changeable Guardian Estique, born in the 21st century, arrives on Steam. About Changeable Guardian Estique. Faithfully ported to Steam, Changeable Guardian Estique was created in the 21st century as a completely new title for NES ROM cartridges. Includes both the NES version and the Famicom version, which have different story. Okay, they even straight up say that in the store page. I was reading that somewhere else. I think I was reading that, it might have been in Time Extension's review that I read that. Enjoy printed materials and various visuals in gallery mode. Yeah, they've got the manual and they've got gallery mode. This thing's loaded. Both versions of the game and the manual and a gallery. Like, I'm already super hyped about this. Simple yet deep game system. This side-scrolling shooter features 6 stages themed after cities around the world. The super variable robot Estique can transform at any time between the fighter form, which has a small vertical hitbox, and the robot form, which nullifies terrain damage and excels at recovery. Interesting. So, like, one of the things you always have to test going into any shmup that has, you know, terrain in it, or floors and ceilings, or walls, or what have you, is, okay, does the terrain kill me, or can I just bump up against it harmlessly? And the answer to that in this game is yes. As in both, depending on which form you are in. So that's fascinating. Mastering the strategic switching between these two forms and 2 types of equipment is key to clearing the game. Furthermore, the scoring system utilizing the super weapon special attack activated by rapid firing the shot button. Are you telling me you have to, like, mash just to use their super? Hopefully you don't have to do it too many times. Adds depth to the gameplay. I mean, again, it's on NES, so, like, actually, one really nice thing to have would be a quality of life option to have an extra button, given that this is ported to Steam and I have a controller with more than 4 buttons on it. That might be a nice idea. I don't know if they're gonna do it, though. With a life system that regenerates over time and the removal of power-ups, the game design prioritizes accessibility, so there's no Gradius effect, is what you're telling me, right? You've really got my attention now. You've got visual accessibility and you've got no Gradius effect. Next, you're going to literally write in here that it follows the Geneva Convention of Shmups. I'm still waiting for that. I was joking about that last week on the Shmup Book Club call because one of the demos I played last week had what they referred to as bullet ceiling, which is when you're close to small enemies, they won't shoot at you. And that is what I have referred to as the Geneva Convention of Shmups in the Shmup Book Club. A strategic shooting experience awaits you, enjoyable for everyone from beginners to advanced players. And there, like I said, there are 3 difficulty settings. Story. In the year 2413, so I think this is the English story, because I think in the Japanese story, you can tell from the first 4 words. In the Japanese story, it's like 20XX or something like that. In the English version, it's specifically 2413. They feared Alex Trebek, basically. I think he might have passed away by 2024, though. I'm losing track of time here. In the year 2413, the Earth was invaded by evil space pirates Vanderos. They are dominating 5 big economic cities and taking control of the world economy. Honestly? Well, okay, it's 2413. I was gonna say, though, given the way the world economy is going right now with AI bros fucking over everything, they can have the world. Like, if they take it over, only good things can happen. Like, I'm pretty sure we're reaching rock bottom pretty soon. Friendly planet. Beetlejuice. No. legally distinct from Beetlejuice, decided to save the Earth from space pirates and send reinforcement. Ace, not pilots, but pirates. Is that supposed to be a pilot that's also a pirate? Or is it just a legally distinct pilot? Ace pirates, Neri and Cannon, ride on Estique, and now launching to the Earth. Neri, you must be the messiah of the Earth. The tomorrow winner is you. Alright, that has to be intentional. Because a winner is you was actually a line in a NES video game. Steam Edition features. Fully includes both the Famicom version. Oh, yeah. Okay, so unfortunately my katakana is not good. So, what does this say? Yeah, it's a Estique. Because it's... this is te. This is a small e, so it's Estique. Estique. So it's not supposed to be pronounced the Spanish way. And I mean, like, you know, it doesn't have the accent on the end, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. And the NES version, Changeable Guardian Estique, which features different stories and some graphics. Quick save and load and rewind functions make it accessible even for those less skilled at shooters. Right, this does have a rewind in it. Full controller support ensures comfortable play anytime. CRT filter recreates the nostalgic look of a CRT television. What did I tell you? They did have to add that in case you want to do that to yourself. Includes gallery mode. Enjoy the instruction manual, box art, and cartridge visuals. Allegedly requires Windows 11. I don't believe you. Anyway, I'm playing it in Linux with Proton, so whatever. Let's play the game. While playing the game, ensure the room is well lit and keep a safe distance from the screen. Yeah, okay. General epilepsy warning. Again, not kept on the screen for long enough to actually read it. At the bottom right, it says Kathui Trading LLC, licensed to and published by Amada Games. What's Amada? I don't know. What's Amada with you? I mean, they just fucking lined that one up. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, though. Alright, so, mode select. And yeah, see what it says? It is the year 20XX? That's on the Famicom version. On the English version, it is the NES version, it is the year 2413. So we can compare and contrast the two lore dumps for the intro. So, for the Japanese version, it is the year 20XX, and Earth is being overrun by quote-unquote evil. Starting with the 5 big economic cities. The only ones who can save the planet are Japan's ultra-transforming robot Estique, its main pilot, Mary Kusakabe, age 20, and co-pilot Kanon Koshiba, age 21. The ages are very important. I'm surprised they didn't also include measurements, but maybe those are in the manual. Fly, Estique. Split the Earth and pierce the heavens. Hang on. I think that's a different anime. This game is only available in Japanese. Until now. But no, they're warning you that, yeah, it's only going to have Japanese text in it. Alright, as for the English version, it is the year 2413 of the space era, and Earth has been thrown into chaos following an attack by the space pirates Van der Roos. So Van der Roos doesn't even exist. It's just quote-unquote evil in the Japanese version. This is like the ActRaiser treatment, except this doesn't even mention God and the devil, let alone Bob. It's just replacing evil with Van der Roos in the English version. They began by taking control of the 5 big... Okay, so we still have the 5 big economic cities, seizing the global economy itself. Okay, this one doesn't talk about the economy, though. Only the English version gives a crap about the economy, as if there's an economy left to save in 2413. Viewing this situation as critical, the government of Planet Beetlejuice... Yeah, so here is just Japan. Japan is here to save the day, versus here, we've made up a planet that's going to save the day. Dispatch the robot Estique and an ace pilot to Earth in order to save it. And then... And this game is only available in English. So then we've got the manual. We've got the gallery, which is not available in the demo version, but it says view illustrations, concept art, packaging, the instructional manual, but the manual, I guess they split out the manual for purposes of the demo, which is a nice idea. I appreciate that. And printed items such as promotional materials for Changeable Guardian Estique. But yeah, I mean, this is super cool. And then you've got a ranking, online rankings, not available in the demo. And then we've got our options. We should look at the options first. Sure, why not? Now, I will point out that the default controls for this involve pressing the right face button. This is Japanese style confirm and cancel. Right face button confirms, down lower face button cancels. You can change that in the options, but that's the default. So, rewind button. So you have to turn this off to register scores in the online ranking. That makes sense. I'll keep it on just in case I feel like using it, but I'm gonna not intend to use it. We've got wallpapers. I actually thought it had none by default. Did I actually set this up before? But you've got a whole bunch. I must have left it at this before because it was also not set to pixel perfect. It was set to 4:3 before, so it'll do like maximum aspect ratio scale by default. But you can set it to pixel perfect, which reveals more background. The backgrounds are full screen, so like that supports that pretty well. You can also stretch it if you're a sicko, I guess, but I don't know why. I don't think sickos would even do this. I think that's a separate denomination. Um. But yeah, we're going to play it pixel perfect. So we can cycle through the wallpapers here. I honestly kind of like this one. We've got one with the two characters facing each other. We've got one with the bunny version. We've got one with just like the outlines of the mech. We've got more sketches here of the two characters. That's pretty cool. And we've got one with, like, the arcade instructions split across the two sides, which, like, good luck reading it. I mean, first of all, I can't. I unfortunately can't read Japanese, but also, like, I don't think you're seeing the whole the whole banner there. But it's cool that they have that option there, too. I think this one's kind of cool, though. Alright, language setting. Oh, yeah, here's the CRT filter. So what does that look like? Oh, it actually has, like, sub-options for it. So you've got, brightness. Oh, I see. Yeah, it is actually, it is causing some kind of, like... Actually, is that just straight up a... That's just straight up a filter. It's not applying bloom or anything. RGB offset. This might be, like... Yeah, that's chromatic aberration, basically. And scanline intensity. So it actually defaults to none? Yeah, I think it's defaulting to none, but then you can actually make it, like, anywhere between... I think that's full scanline. So you can do, like, a cross between. So then you can do, like, a whole bunch of shit, depending on how much you hate your eyeballs. Yeah, that's a fair play. I honestly like that they do it as, like, composable options. That's a pretty neat idea, because then it's like, if you just like scan lines and don't want the rest of the stuff that makes crap harder on the eyes, then you can do that. But you can create all these combinations of effects with it to varying intensities. Alright, so we do have a full screen toggle. I assume this is just on and off. And that just makes it a window. Alright, did I break the capture? No, I did not. Miraculously, the capture did not break when I toggled that. So subtitles were off by default. I turned it on. I don't even know what it's going to apply to, but I'm curious, so anytime I can turn subtitles on, I do. Alright, here's our controller settings. So I'm gonna rebind, but we have both keyboard stuff. I assume that it's gonna default to arrow keys for movement, because I don't see any arrow key. I don't see the movement keys customizable here. Unless... Oh, well, now we're doing it. I'm kind of like trying to cheat and see what was used before. Yeah, okay, you cannot... It's funny how that said controller settings, but it was the keyboard settings. I'm gonna restore the defaults anyway. So you can't customize what keys are used for movement. That seems unfortunate, because I imagine some people would like to use, like, WASD for movement instead of using the arrow keys, but that's not an option. This is classic, 20-plus years ago Japanese shmup and indie game configuration only, where you've got the actions on the lower left side of the keyboard. Also, hey, Waxcoat. Now, on the controller, this is where you can change, but you can see that on the Xbox controller, it's got the B button for it's got B and A swapped, which is, like, very Japan style. So I'm going to go ahead and update these. That immediately swapped them, actually, which is interesting. You have to assign them all at once, but it actually did swap them. So originally it's got like the two, middle face buttons in the center of the controller for the pause and menu stuff. And then it's got the bumpers for the other two things. So yeah, start and select I'll put in the middle again. Pause, I'm just going to put on like Y, and then rewind I'll put on left bumper so I don't hit it by accident, most likely. And also I'm putting on a left bumper, not right bumper, because the right bumper on my controller is kind of broken. It kind of works, but it's kind of hard to press, which kind of pisses me off because this controller is not that old. B is confirm, A is back. Okay, so yeah, that hasn't updated yet. Wait, is that... Alright, I lied, apparently. I thought that updates the menu controls, but it doesn't. I could have sworn it did. Oh well. Now I'm sad. Anyway, what licenses do we have? We have... So here's the... Oh, okay, I see. In parentheses, it shows you what software the license corresponds to. So you got Steamworks.net, which means there's .NET code in this, of some sort. We've got Fix NES. We've got Play Everywhere, which is a Unity plugin, so this is using Unity, apparently. We've got Ares, which is your emulator. I believe Ares was the continuation of Higan, which I believe was... Wasn't that one of, Wasn't that one of Nier's projects originally? Because I think Higan and Beast Nest were both by Nier. What else do we have? M+, we've got fonts in general. So yeah, this probably is Nodo Sans that we're looking at right now. Oh boy, Epic Online Services SDK. I just became a lot less excited about this. It probably, I guess it uses this for the leaderboards? Can I just not? Because, like, fuck installing the Epic Online Services. I don't want it. And this is why we're looking at this shit. This is also apparently a very long list of stuff. Hey, it's libcurl, used by literally everything. Also OpenSSL. Yeah, okay, I'm probably gonna stop reading now. Protobuf, good lord, why? I feel like you really don't need Protobuf. Like, you're... Like, if you're not literally working at Google, you do not need Protobuf for literally anything. Staff credits, let's look at those. And you can actually increase the scroll speed on this and control it. So we've got... Yeah, we've got Komabayashi, which was mentioned in the Wikipedia page. So this is not full credits. We might see the full credits in the game itself, but, like, for example, this isn't mentioning, like, the soundtrack credits at all. This is actually a very short list. That's it. Alright. Let's go look at the manual. Okay, so you... Unfortunately, the table of contents is not actually interactive. You have to turn the page. There's a turn the page button at the bottom, but you can just use left and right. It does the same thing. It's not like one is animated or anything like that. How to start the game. Press any... Okay, so this manual is actually unique to this version because it shows the menu from this version. I really hope that they eventually add menu music, because that is kind of disappointing that we don't have music for all of the stuff that we're looking at. Oh, they actually spell out the Japanese title in Romaji for me here, so I can read it now. Press any button on the title screen to open the mode selection screen on the left. Use the directional buttons up or down to select the desired mode, then press the confirm button to start. The following modes are included in this game. Choyoku Senki Estique, which is the Famicom version. Changeable Guardian Estique, which is the NES version. Manual mode, which is what we're literally looking at. Gallery mode, and it again tells you what's not in the demo. Ranking mode, and options. It shows, like, the default controls here, I guess, for both, I mean, it even has the Xbox logo. Like, did they get, like, a discount or something for free advertising for Microsoft here, or what? How much did I actually end up changing? Wait, no, this is showing the controls I set. Wait, are you serious? Like, this is literally the controls I changed to. This is reflecting the custom configuration. This isn't static. Okay, color me impressed. You never see games actually do that, like, in a image like this. Usually these images are for the stock controls. Okay, so right, this tells you what maps to the A button and the B button, but what do the A button and the B button actually do? This tells you that, so it's kind of like, it's kind of a two-tiered system here. So select button adjusts unit speed, which is available during the pause menu. What other game did that? I feel like either Lancer or Gate of Thunder. One of those two, I feel like, had speed adjustment when you were paused, or something along those, something of that ilk. I remember a game where you had to pause to set your speed. So transform is the B button, shoot is the A button. Hold the button down, press repeatedly to activate super weapon. So auto fire is kind of the default anyway. There's no like focus shot or anything. Alright, Screen HUD. This game is a single-player, energy-based shooting game. It's game over if you are hit by an enemy or bullet or get crushed by terrain while your shield health is at 0. Your shield automatically recovers if you avoid taking damage for a set period, and the shield is at the bottom left. Yep, that's the first thing noted on the left side, displays current shield health. Super weapon is, after that, can be activated as many times as you have stock, so it works kind of like a bomb gauge. I don't know if we'll find bomb pickups or you know, super weapon pickups or how that fills exactly. We've got the player character, of course. We've got our score, which is very important. A recovery item appears every 80,000 points, so there's your extends right there, and I guess that doesn't vary with difficulty or anything. And you've got your speed gauge, which is actually just numeric. It's not even shown as a gauge. Speed gauges that actually show, like, icons for the speed are pretty common in games like this. I'm surprised they didn't do that. It's like they had room to do it, potentially, too. If they nudged... Well, no. I'm not thinking about what is your max super weapon stock. But, of course, you could, like, collapse that if it gets too long, too. You know, don't bombs do that in Star Fox 64? Anyway, moving on. Pause menu. Press the pause menu button during gameplay to open the pause menu, so this is specific to this version. Hey, Jampley. Yeah, I'm excited about this one. So this explains all the things you can do from the pause menu. Reset the game. You can change your wallpaper. You can change your... This is basically explaining the options screen, because that's pretty much the same stuff that's on it, which is nice that you can change all this stuff while you're in the game. You don't have to exit back out, because some games are bad about that. But you've got your aspect ratio, and it explains what pixel perfect means, integer scaling based on the Famicom resolution. It even outlines the different options within CRT filter, which we already experimented with. Jampley, you should check out this demo. Like, just for the frickin' options and everything, like, this is already... The way this is laid out so far is super impressive. This is a game that originally came out on physical cartridges in 2024 for NES. So it's also potentially up your alley from that standpoint, given what Gravity Storm was inspired by. We've got the full screen toggle with subtitles, which it does not further explain, like, when subtitles show up. We'll still have to figure that one out and find out. Controller settings and return to selection screen. Oh, in other words, go back to the main menu. Yeah. About items. Here we go. There are a total of 3 items in the game. 2 of them switch your attack method. There are no tiered power-ups. Again, no Gradius effect. They already told us that in the store page. It bothers you when you can't change things during gameplay. Yeah, exactly. It's like, especially if it's something visual that, like, you have to go into the game to tell what it did. Which this is actually good about that, too, because, like, when you go into, like, the menu that has to do the options, any of the options that have to do with, like, the aspect ratio or the, like, CRT options and stuff, it actually shows you, and, like, the background around the side of the screen, it gives you a preview of the in-game screen, so that you're not just guessing. So that's also super good. Alright, so BIT. 2 BIT units orbit around your unit. Alright, so we've got Super EDF rotating options. Wave, fire a 3-way wave shot. Picking up either item increases your super weapon. Oh, so you do get weapon stock. Super weapon stock. And Maruino appears somewhere on the stage every 80,000 points. Picking it up, it restores your shield and super weapon. So wait, this is separate from extends? Because you also get an extend every 80,000 points. We were told that back over here on the score thing up there. So you get a chance for something else at 80,000 points as long as you don't miss this power up. Also, I expect that Maruino is very Lander inspired from Compile games. Again, Compile staffers were apparently involved in this. Oh, you know of this one. All right, I missed the memo on this one until literally tonight. Like, I looked through the shooters category earlier this week and did not spot this, but I spotted it tonight and I was like, holy crap, this is immediately the most interesting thing to me for Shmup Night. High score techniques. Defeating enemies with the super weapon grants bonus points. You are also invincible while the super weapon is active. What happens if you use this time to ram into and defeat an enemy? And clearing hard mode grants 500,000 points, and clearing God of Game grants 1 million points. So there is a set difficulty bonus. Okay. That's good to know up front. Alright. Good manual. Everything in this is good so far, dude. Alright, so we gotta play the English version first, so I actually know what's happening. But then we might also play the Japanese version afterwards. You know what wasn't in the options? Sound controls. They need sound controls, dude. You don't have sound volume. What the hell? That's the one thing this game is missing. Good lord. Alright, anyway. I don't suppose... There's sound test in here. I pressed the wrong button for that. I pressed start, which exits. I'm gonna go scale the game's volume through my OS, since I can't scale it through... Yeah, it's probably fine. I can't believe there's no sound volume thing. You were very into NES homebrew games? I haven't been, and I feel like I should check some of them out. I know I follow Weedo from the Quake community, and sometimes Weedo tends to check out homebrews for NES or Game Boy or various things. I think Weedo is also how I had discovered a pretty cool SNES homebrew that I can't remember. Oh, Dotty Flowers. That was a SNES homebrew that was pretty cool. Alright, let's get at a sound test. So, game level. Defaults to normal mode, which is actually the easiest difficulty level. We'll probably start with that anyway, just to see how it is. But there's normal, hard, and God of Game. So obviously when McCall plays this, he's going to play it on God of Game, because, like, why wouldn't he? And then he has to determine whether this is a God game. I wonder if McCall played this a couple years ago already. Like, I imagine he would already know about this. And then you can basically swap the face buttons if you want to. Which, I mean, like, is overkill since we already have options in the higher level menu, but in the native release, this would make sense to have. Alright. I'm assuming continue is there because I technically started it earlier to test it, but we're gonna start over. I'm surprised that that's there, like, across playthroughs, though. Also, I'm realizing my timer is gonna be, like, really hard to see on this background anyway, so maybe I should choose a different one. Wallpaper. They all kind of have light background colors. That actually has the easiest to see background color for the timer aspect, so... Maybe we'll use the arcade instructions background. Because other than that, there's that, and then we flip back around. That one's actually not bad for it either, though. Yeah, I really like this background, but I'll put it on something more that makes the timer more visible. We'll settle for that one. Alright, let's actually start the timer, even though I've already been looking at this game for like half an hour at least. In year 2413, Earth was invaded by evil space pirates Wanderers. It does say evil, too, though. Friendly planet Beetlejuice decided to save the Earth and sent reinforcement. This is basically what the store page said, too. Neri, the ace pilot, with an L, of Beetlejuice. Estique, the guardian of the Earth. Destroy them all! They didn't mention the other pilot at all. Oh, I respect that they give me enough time to read that. Alright, so there's our transformation. We already have rotating options. Oh, there's formation bonuses. This is straight up Super EDF stuff. Hi. Okay. Well, I missed those guys. Oh, wow, it gave that to me even though it was half off screen. That's nice of them. Some games will be very mean about that. Oh, okay, those are enemies. I wasn't sure if those were enemies or item pods, but no, there's too many of them. Oh, jeez. Okay, good. Our options are also defensive, just like the ones in Super EDF. Oh, well, that was a bad hit. Was that my entire shield gone? Or is my shield actually still full and I just lost my option? I don't know what that sound was about. Oh, I think it automatically used the super because I had full when I picked that up. So that's the sound that the super makes. And you really only have to press the button like twice. So that's actually pretty good. Hey, could you stop whooping on me? So yeah, the super weapon is basically just like a... kind of like a Tome of Power from Heretic, honestly. It's like, it just kind of supercharges your weapon for a bit. Oh, and yeah, the pickups actually rotate between W and B. Also, honestly, that background makes me think of, well, that background makes me think of frickin' Metal Storm. But the other background makes me think of, Super EDF Stage 2. Oh, okay. The rotating bits are an alternative to this weapon. Also, I haven't actually bothered using the transformation at all. Is it dead? No explosion, it just fades out. It's like, alright, see ya. Stage clear, go to next city. Oh, they have fun graphics because a girl's gotta eat, you know. Oh, I'm far out players. This is very 90s. Far out. So I assume then that the demo is only one level. I need to actually try the transformation next time. Oh, and there's a timer. Thank you for playing the demo version. Please enjoy the rest in the full version. I imagine I will, because, damn, this is good. Let's try on a higher difficulty, too. We'll try a higher difficulty here, and then I'll go to the Japanese version, because it sounds like the Japanese version differences are only cosmetic and story and stuff, but I am kind of curious about that, because games sure loved to have their difficulty differences in the 90s. You've always been tempted to add in one of your games a difficulty mode called Impossible Mode just for the last... I mean... Was it Phalanx for Super NES that literally has Funny as the highest difficulty mode? And I'm pretty sure... I forget which game it was that had, like, Mania or something as the highest difficulty level. Alright, let's try on... So the only unfortunate thing is, I don't think there's any, like, terrain to actually test out the you know, terrain endurance ability of the transformation. Alright, let's skip that this time. So it really seems like our attack is the same. Oh! Our super is different, I think. Because that was a new attack. Alright, so... And then, yeah, so when the power-up blinks is when it's gonna change between W and B. I like that you can destroy bullets. I didn't really want the wave there, but I guess we'll use it. Actually, let me check. Yeah, it's still the same. Alright, well, I took a hit there. So when I had the options, it seemed like I didn't lose shield the time I got hit. Unless that was, like, specifically a normal difficulty thing, and it's just more forgiving. But I'm pretty sure at one point I, like, lost the options when I took a hit. Maybe not. So that time I definitely took hits, and did not lose the options. I must have actually run over a W, and I just didn't realize at the time that that costs you the option. But yeah, things definitely seem a little more intense now. There's more of those guys. I feel like those guys didn't show up in as many places. Oh, he ran away. Coward. Right, I have to remember there's no, like, power-up levels. I'm assuming that running over power-ups does give you points, though. I can't believe that all the bullets are frickin' destructible. Because, like, that in itself is potential score. I got the oh, does that do piercing damage? Holy shit, dude. I got the impression that it also might, like, block bullets for you. I should probably switch back to this. Yeah, it blocked the little blue bullet. Oh, do I sacrifice my weapon level, though? When I, no, wait, I think... Wait, I did get explosions that time. Oh, we got the lander thing that I forgot the actual name of, but it's basically a lander. Didn't I not get an explosion on the boss the first time? Or was I just snoozing? Like, what the hell? But yeah, we crossed the, well, actually, we crossed the 80k mark on the other one, too, and I probably just missed it. Okay, and then it shows your difficulty level there, so normal just has no prefix. And then... Oh, cool, there's a pretty fast repeat rate on that. So then H is for hard. And then I guess there would be G for God of Game. But let's go check out the Japanese version. But yeah, I mean, we're playing the first level in like 4 minutes flat. It's been 8 minutes and I played the first level twice. So let's go back to selection screen. That was the wrong button. I do wish that you could rebind the menu, like switch the menu accept and cancel buttons. Alright. Also, my mouse is in the way. Did that just not have an intro? Wait a minute. Or no, it's when you do game start. So, let's look at this here. So this is still in English. I'll play in hard mode again. Actually, no. I'll play on normal mode again first, and maybe we'll try God of Game after we play normal mode again. Oh yeah, that is exactly what the subtitles are for. And this talks about quote-unquote evil plotting to conquer the Earth. Different graphics too, right? Dr. Kusakabe, discovering this, developed the ultra-transforming robot in secret. However, his lab was attacked by evil before he could run the final test. That was a lot of text crammed in there in Japanese. Mary, Canon, I made this for you, with this Estique. Grandpa, what are you talking about? Mary, this means... What are you saying? They actually have dialogue. I didn't have time to read all of it. Fly, Estique, split the Earth and pierce the heaven... Wait, split the Earth? Hang on a second. I thought we were trying to save the Earth, not split it. That doesn't sound like the same thing to me. So yeah, when you have the bits, this is always your... Like, your center shot is the red one. Missed those guys completely. So yeah, you're either opting for defense with the bits, but they also do shoot sometimes. Or you're opting for, like, more consistent and more spread out fire with the W. I don't know how the hell you're gonna destroy nearly all of those things. They are very fast, dude. The very fast repeating dink sounds are very compile for sure. Oh, yeah, I maxed out my super meter again. Oh, yeah, I haven't actually tried changing speed. That's your pause. Oh, and it actually does show... It does the thing where it shows the jet behind when you're changing your speed. Oh, that's fast. Okay. What's slow, then? Slow. Yep. We're just gonna be hearing a lot of dudes. Wait, how am I already... Hang on. Wait a minute. Why was there a cat already? I thought those were supposed to happen at 80k. That was like 35k or something. I don't know. What was that about? Honestly, using this is probably a better idea if you're going for score, because you're more likely to hit more things with it. I say as I miss one of the frickin' species spicy meatballs. Yeah, it's like you actually want them to turn around so you can shoot bullets, but you also don't want to miss shooting them, I guess. Oh, I think you can't actually, like, transform as long as the super's on screen. Yeah, it's already dead. I suspect the boss had more health on, hard. And this has its own scoreboard. But... I don't know, that felt pretty similar to normal on the other one. I would have to, like, pay a lot more attention to analyze it. Alright, so let's try God of Game and see if I even survive. Alright, it's only the first level, so, like, if I do survive, that doesn't mean anything for my ability to survive the whole thing. I should also see what Continue does. I'm gonna look at these graphics again. But yeah, the plot's completely different. Before he could run the final test, his lab was attacked. But this Estique saved the world! That's what he said, that I didn't have time to read. Yeah, that's why Mary's asking, what are you saying? It's like, I didn't have fucking time to read it, dude. I'm sure the, subtitles are probably an oversimplification because there is not nearly enough room for all that text. Oh, I actually want... Wait, what? Oh! You cap out at fewer super, I think. Because it just immediately used it. So I think your max is 3 now. Yeah, that's a lot of bullets. Oh, I actually wanted the W, but... Yeah, so you can't stockpile as many supers. Oh, wow, I got it right at the right time when it changed. Oh, what? Those guys are tanky, holy crap. Were those guys even in the other difficulties, or are they new? I think they were in the other difficulties. I remember them being there. I think. It is also interesting that your options rotate more quickly when you, Oh, I wonder if those guys do, like, a bigger spread of bullets. I think they do. Oh, I'm almost dead already, dude. I think I'm less durable. Whoa, jeez. Yeah, might not survive. This is kind of chaotic. And now I'm out of supers, right? And I just bonked right into that guy. Oh, let's see what the game over looks like. That's a really nice looking game over screen. I mean, except for the part where our ship fucking crashed, but like... I've never seen such a serene, aside from that, game over screen. And yeah, you do have a G as a prefix on your, and that's city. It's CTY is short for city, because every Every stage is a city. This is pretty cool. I think we're done with the demo, other than what does the continue option do? Are there actually passwords? No, it's probably just continuing, based on... Oh, that's interesting. Notice that the flame... Does the flame look different? Yeah, the flame looks different depending on if you're in your, like, flashing state. That's fascinating. It actually, like, inverted the flame. It was mostly red with white in the back instead of mostly white with red in the back. It's an interesting little detail I discovered by accident. What was I actually saying? I don't remember. This is really cool. This is definitely going on the wish list. And I will have to... If I have a need to suggest a shmup 'em if you got 'em name for a future shmup book club rotation, this is going to be my suggestion, most likely. But I'll probably suggest hard mode, like I did with Ghana Blade. Incidentally, also something arguably compile-inspired, but actually indie, in that case. Because, yeah, normal is probably going to be easily beatable, possibly even sight-readable. But yeah, no, this is super cool. So, I'm glad I stumbled into this today, because otherwise I would have completely missed it, because I did not notice it when I first looked at all the stuff in the shooter category